sort of a big change with my professional world. I've been working 2 jobs. I've been kind of helping out at another agency that needed my help. And it was really getting to be too much, and it was just affecting sort of all aspects of my life. I really talked it over with her, and I knew it wasn't even her lane, but it was just sort of what I was dealing with that day. And just having another person to kind of listen to me and validate my feelings, I think, was really, really nice and supportive. So I love that too. And I think the fact that I had taken control in some ways over my health life helped me take some control into my professional life. And it was like, oh, if I can do this thing that seemed like it was completely out of reach for me, maybe I can do this other thing that seems completely out of reach for me. So I felt like there was some crossover there, even though it wasn't an obvious crossover. We were trying to figure out for a couple of weeks why I wasn't losing weight. Bringing in Laura was really helpful to me because I sent Margaret a list of the foods that I'd been eating, and she figured out my macros. Laura looked at them. We kind of had a conversation about where I was and realized that I really wasn't bringing in enough nutrient. I have lived with Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers has been like, this is what we do in my family. And it was funny because I even said to my mom, oh, I'm trying this, my fitness pal, Weight Watchers wasn't. And she's like, if you follow Weight Watchers, it really does everything you need it to do. I'm like, I'm in the cause. I know it completely. But here's like another way of looking at your nutrition. Since I was a little kid, she was doing Weight Watchers. So this has been the only way of looking at nutrition. And so having somebody say to me, and even when I first spoke to you, you were like, oh, I don't really know Weight Watchers. And, I know our coaches really don't do, but it was still like, no, Weight Watchers is the way to go. We have to do Weight Watchers. So having somebody else just say, here's another tool. I know it's going to be a pain in the neck to track in both places. Give it a couple days, give it 3 days and see how it looks. And in 3 days, I was like, oh, I understand what's going on now. This is a much better system. So being challenged and all of you working together to support me in making a new decision, I think was really helpful. And I think the other thing is Weight Watchers probably worked for me much better when I was not a vegetarian. And so having to find new ways to get protein was, and there was no way in Weight Watchers to say, this is how much protein I've had. Or I mean, they were counting it, but I didn't see it. And so there was nothing like blinking at me saying, hey, here's something lacking. So it was until that was right in front of my face that I said, oh, I could eat salad for 3 meals a day, which is kind of what I was doing on Weight Watchers, and that seems fine. But I was also getting somewhere around 800 or 900 calories a day. And Laura was like, I know calorie deficits are supposed to be good, but that's too much of a deficit. That's not getting you where you need to be. You need to find ways to find protein. So it makes sense. It all makes sense. It's just not what I was doing. So, right. But I just want it recorded how much I appreciate what she's done and just how supportive that she's been and what a wonderful voice she's been in my life for the last 9 weeks or 12 weeks, being able to help me get to places that I didn't think I was going to be able to. I may have mentioned to you when I first spoke to you, I am on medication for my mental health that has metabolic side effects. And so it's always been like, oh, well, I guess I can't do anything about it. I'm going to gain weight because my meds, like I need to be on these meds to be healthy. Guess I just can't do anything about it. And taking things into my own hands and being challenged to try a higher speed on the treadmill than just kind of simply walking and whatever it might be. Each week she's given me a little bit of a challenge, and I don't think I would have challenged myself in that same way by myself. So I think this is a great tool. It's been a really good experience. I was telling somebody else about it the other day and suggesting they start working with you all. It supported me in sort of my holistic world, and that's just been so appreciative.